The WWE Draft is back. Triple H just announced on SmackDown that we will be having a draft within the next few weeks, probably after Backlash. And here are a couple of my predictions of what's going to happen during this draft. I think the most obvious thing that's going to happen with the draft is that Roman Reigns is either going to unify the Universal and WWE title, and then there'll be a new belt introduced for Raw, or he is going to drop the WWE title and that will be moved over to Raw. I feel like there's going to be a secondary world title built. Will it be the big gold belt? Will Triple H bring back the big gold belt, or will he bring out a brand new title that's more like the Winged Eagle? Triple H loves his belt designs. He loves a belt that looks more like a classic belt. So I feel like the Raw title will look more like maybe the WWF title of the Winged Eagle, maybe the Disputed Championship. Or, as I said, he might bring back the big gold WCW belt, as he has a lot of nostalgia for that one. So I feel like Raw will have a World Championship after this draft. I think Roman is either going to, as I said, Roman's either going to drop one of his two belts, or he's going to merge his two belts, and then they're going to make a new belt for Raw. I think it's going to be one of those two things. That seems like the most likely scenario. They could just completely ignore me and just have Roman as a floating champion between both brands. But I think logically, the best thing to do would be to make a world champion on Raw. That leads me to my next point, that I feel like Roman Reigns has stayed on SmackDown because that is the A show, that is the show on Fox. And I feel that Cody Rhodes looks like he will be the face of the Raw brand. And I feel like as the face of the Raw brand, he will be eventually winning that WWE title. This is why he probably didn't win it at WrestleMania, because they're going to have him win the title at a later date now, after this brand split. Maybe tied into the Saudi Arabia King of the Ring tournament. I imagine we might get a title tournament. Triple H likes title tournaments. Might get it over the top Battle Royal for the belt, or he might just hand the belt to someone on Raw. Maybe he might just hand it to Brock Lesnar or something, and then have Cody try and chase after Brock Lesnar for the Raw WWE title. It'd be interesting to see where they go with this, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think that re-establishing the brand split, I feel like SmackDown's top star is going to be Roman because it's on Fox, and then Cody's going to be the top star on Raw. I think that's the most logical. I mean, keeping it essentially the status quo as how it is now, but re-establishing it and reinforcing it and making a second belt more establishable. So yeah, I think that's probably going to happen. Speaking of splitting belts or merging belts or adding a new belt, I feel like the same thing's going to happen with the tag team titles. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn own both Raw and SmackDown tag titles. I feel like you're either going to split those belts and then you have the Raw and SmackDown titles separate, or you're going to merge the belts and then have a new belt on SmackDown or on Raw or SmackDown. I think they're more likely to split those because they're already designed to be a SmackDown and a Raw belts consecutively. And I feel like Triple H doesn't care as much about those belts at the moment. I feel like it'd be a bit much to add a brand new design for a world title on Raw, for the main world title, and then a brand new design for the tag titles. He might do that, but I feel like that's a bit overkill, having two brand new designs. Ironically, the current WWE design that The Rock introduced is one of the longest designed belts in WWE history. It lasted longer than the spinner belt. It lasted longer than the Winged Eagle and all that. So it's about time that they do change up the belt design. So that is one of my other predictions. Is we will see a new belt design of some kind. Don't know which belt it will be, but I think we're going to see at least one new belt. Will it be? I think it'd probably be the Raw World Championship, but it may be a tag title, or it might be something else. Also, I think a big possible outcome from this draft is we might have a title switch with the Midcard belts. That's usually something that happens. Either the tag titles, the Midcard, or the women's belts swap. I feel like the women's titles are going to stay put. I feel like the most logical thing is maybe we see Austin Theory move over to SmackDown, and we see Gunther move over to Raw. IC title to Raw, US title to SmackDown. I think that might be the most logical bet when it comes to a draft. And I think that's probably those are my main picks of what we expect to see from this draft coming up. The Miz will probably swap brands because the Miz swap brands every single draft is kind of a running joke. The Miz is never on the same brand; he changes brands every time. I think this might be a way of splitting up the bloodline, possibly, or they're going to keep running SmackDown. I don't know. It might be a way of splitting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn from the bloodline, as possible as well. So it'd be interesting to see if they're going to split any tag teams up. I think Triple H is more... So, I mean, it looks like Triple H is in charge at the moment. The rumours were the Vince McMahon took over Raw, but I feel like if Triple H is in charge, we're not going to be seeing as many tag teams being split up. That's more of a Vince thing. Vince doesn't like tag teams and he likes to split up tag teams. I feel like Triple H is more likely to keep tag teams together. So don't expect many splits. We might get one split for dramatic effect, but I don't think we're going to get many splits in this draft as well. I think that's another thing we should mention. So I think that the bloodline will probably stick together. They might split the Usos off from Solo Sikoa and Roman. That's a possibility. So the Usos can go off and do their own thing again, and they can basically Roman Reigns seeming more vulnerable because he's only got his one right hand man. That's a possibility. And also this is a brand new way of building up some new rivalries, building up some new matchups by swapping people across from different brands. I mean, I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. So, I mean, those are my main predictions for the draft. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think is going where? Do you have any really wacky predictions of what you think we're going to see in the draft? Are you excited for the draft? I'm really excited for the draft. I love a good draft. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, too sweet. Thanks, guys.
We're on the road to 5K. Join Potato Club today and too sweet that subscribe button.